You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nats and Raf.
Yo, welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're in right now, what time zone. This is the Cheatcoders. It's Nats here. Got my friend. We got Raf. And obviously, as you notice, we've got a third screen here. We've got a 3-split way going on. Who do we have here? Special guest today is
Don
Valix.
Don Valix
Yeah.
How's it going?
This is like the international. This is the international podcast.
This is my intro music for Don.
What the hell is that?
Dude, it's our song.
You girl, bro. And now in the red corner, coming into the ring, he resides in Singapore. It is Don, the guy who pull up and does the ab stuff. Valix. Weighing 300 pounds.
What an intro. Seriously.
What was that? The pull up and ab stuff?
Hey,
Yeah,
you guys just
something like
reminded me. We were all involved in that project. We're just missing Christian because he made that remix.
Yeah, it did.
Amazing.
Man.
How crazy. I forgot about that shit, man.
Girl.
That was
Well, my next
That
surprise
was
is Christian, come in. Nah, jokes. Nah.
And special guest Chris Joe. Dude, that was the most fun like video shoot that I'd ever done.
Me too.
That was
I wanted to play it down a bit because like then people would be like, you haven't really done many video shoots, hey? But like that was the best video shoot for me.
And I have other friends who are videographers, but I don't want but I think it was more just how like we didn't go with the plan. We were just very much just went in and went let's have as much fun as possible. And that
Hey,
was
Raf,
the video.
can we link that video? Let's link that in the bottom so people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, why not? So
Yes,
I might even
plug
put it
that
in this
shit.
video at the end, a little
Plug
sample or
that.
something like that. Yeah, let's plug it. Let's give it another 500 views. It's going to be awesome.
On that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Girl Deep House Remix is on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, all that
Yes.
stuff. You want to check it out.
Shout outs to Chris Joe.
That is correct.
Yeah.
going
Talented
on?
kid.
What time difference are we looking at? We got a bit of a time difference going on here. Don's like the mid ground. You're like right in between. Usually it's me and Raf. It's like a 12-hour thing. So either like one of us has so much more energy than the other. So this kind of balances us out.
I'm the meat between the two pieces of bread right now.
Pretty much, you are. You're the middle
it.
sandwich.
You're the sausage in the bun.
I think we're about it's about 5 p.m. here. 10 past the universal time code. I don't know what UTC plus 10 hours. I don't know.
All I know it's like it's 8 o'clock now. Don is in Singapore, and that's 3 hours before Sydney.
Yep.
So and then Nats is 10 hours
13
before
hours.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, 11 hours.
Dude, my energy levels are. I'm very tired. I've just woken up. Hey, like. Well, I woke up an hour ago, and then Raf's like, I'm ready, let's go. I'm like, yeah, I'll be there with you soon. And I just stayed in bed for another hour and had a shower. Sorry, bro.
And I was just sitting in front of the computer, just waiting. I was like, I'm ready, guys. I've got this camera set up. I've got my light set up. It's all good. I even had time to make a soundboard. So I got all these sounds now.
It's been waiting since yesterday. We were supposed to do this yesterday, Raf. And then I was like, hey, bro, let's do it on Saturday. We can get done.
Yeah, thanks for having me
You've
on,
been pretty much
guys.
waiting for like 3 days. Nah,
Yeah,
for
welcome
real,
to
man.
the Cheatcoders.
We've been wanting to get you on for a long time. Like even when we were in Sydney. But then we figured how much cooler would it be if all of us are in like 3 different parts of the world. That's a special episode right here. Let's horn that shit.
Cheatcoders Global. Yeah.
Raf, you gotta get onto this horn thing.
I'm full listening.
I gotta stop. I don't have to remind you. Just do the horn when you see
Alright, I
fit.
got the keyboard right in front of me now. It should work out now.
I wanted to say that I'm really enjoying the fact that you guys wanted to do a podcast and you're just like, yeah, let's just do it in our garage and let's make something. Let's just talk shit.
Exactly.
And do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Oh shit, wrong one. I'm new to this.
You don't have
soundboard
gunshots
thing,
in there,
man.
do you? You don't like
Nah,
accidentally shoot the crowd.
I couldn't find the right gunshot, so I'm still looking for that. Next episode, it'll be all good.
Okay. All right. I feel that.
Shots
I
fired.
feel
Shots
that.
fired. But yeah, man,
going on, guys?
I'm really enjoying the fact that you guys are doing this, and I know that I wanted to talk about content and being creative.
Yes.
But so Nats was telling me what your plan was for Cheatcoders. Do you want to tell, you want to tell people about what your plan is, Raf?
Everyone, if you were listening to 2 episodes ago, then it's over there. It should be on the Cheatcoders.
But as a quick summary,
as a quick summary,
might come in quick, yeah.
As a quick summary, I want to turn this into a network where it's going to be podcasts, shows, people that can express their creative outlets, whether it be different content. So it's just aimed to just build a community with different creatives and try to build podcasts, shows, even probably music videos, and then whatever people can think of. And it's just a channel, like a TV channel, like Channel 7, and they could find different stuff onto it. So it's just building a community within the creative hub.
Yeah, man.
And obviously the niche is, it's all it's a lot of artists, hip hop artists, videographers, and it could even bridge out to people that just what general interests are. It could be food, it could be events. And, we're all Asian, so, to just narrow down that niche even more, it's Asian Aussies, Asian Australians, we start there, we start small, we bridge out further and further. But, you know the crowd that listens to us, so.
Yeah. But do you want it specifically to be Asians? Is your audience specifically
Asians? Well,
maybe
for now.
Just anybody that's creative?
We'll start off small. Everyone always usually start off small, so we start off with the Asian crowd.
Yeah.
And then hopefully branch out. Everyone's goal is to go worldwide.
Yeah.
If you're doing this creative thing, so just the more exposure, the better. The more diversity, the better as well.
Hell yeah. Cheatcoders Global.
Yeah, that's it. It might end up being called that. Yeah.
Come on, dude. You gotta get on with that one.
I'm too busy having a conversation, so it's just hard to just
We need to hire our own DJ that specifically their only job is to just add sound effects whenever we say anything.
If anyone wants to be an intern for the Cheatcoders, because we don't even pay each other, so we're pretty much all interns to this.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about though, just creating for the sake of creating, not to monetize the things that it's the idea that you guys are doing this because you want to build a community and just create stuff is amazing.
Yes.
Whereas everybody, I think some of the mindset that people have is okay, I've got a talent. How can I then monetize that talent? And that's
exactly it. The agenda or the drive behind it is not purely just putting the content. There's a hidden agenda, and I think that sort of takes away the authenticity of it. Right now, this is just coming out as natural as we're just joking around. The energy is real.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's good, and I'm excited when we do put these things out, because it's not there's no pressure of we gotta hit this many plays, we gotta reach this many people. It's just out there, and people take it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's the beauty of it. It manifests.
Yeah,
later.
the beauty of this, for now, we just love doing this. It's the way to express what we're feeling and an outlet of our creativity. And then I think monetizing it down the track would make it more a longevity type of thing, because it could only be this fun for this long until we have to try and find a way to live, because life will always come in the way, and then hopefully by then we could be able to monetize it. But for now. And back then, me and Nats, we're still going by the code. If it's not fun, we're just gonna stop.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. Every time we're about to we feel I think we're putting a bit too much effort into this. We try and dial it down a bit. It's ooh. Let's hold back. Let's not structure it too much. So it's been like that for the past, I don't know what episode is this now? 30 or some shit? I don't know. Yeah,
this is gonna be episode 29, I think. 29,
damn,
28.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, just to get the ball rolling, when we just a funny backstory for everyone. This setup right here came about in the last 2 days. We weren't even supposed to get Don on. It happened because I was walking around London, Don. I was bored out of my interview, and I was in the city overwhelmed. I was looking for a coffee shop, and I couldn't find one because London is just so big. And I was just this city's too big for me. Let me call someone that's a bit more familiar, a familiar voice. Who's awake at this time? Funny enough, Don, I think you liked one of my pics or something, and I was he must be awake. So that's why I called you.
Yeah.
And then
it was your Insta story. You
Insta story.
It was your.
Yeah.
You were saying that you were going to some interview, and I was like, "Wow, that's amazing. Which one?"
That's it. And then immediately I just gave you a call. And then like
I was on the toilet when you called.
He was on the toilet. And then like first time he didn't pick up, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's. But nah, he messaged. He can't be asleep already. It's like, but anyways, we talked for a bit, and that's how we got into the subject of the whole content thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, and that's what I'm trying to get at. The energy just happens. Like it was supposed to be just me and Raf again, and this just kind of came about spontaneously, and I think that's what's the like beauty of this. It comes out quite naturally. Sorry, that was just a little bit of a backstory. What I wanted to get at, we obviously started a group chat, started to sort of dabble into ideas, what we can talk about today in this podcast, and you sent me that video of that. Is that guy your mate? I forgot his name, but you sent a link, and I only watched it yesterday.
So his name is Andrew Huang, and he's a producer on YouTube. He's not my mate. He's just one of the producers that I follow on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. I was extremely inspired just watching him, particularly that video that you sent, because I was like, dude, the stuff he's saying, like, it resonates on such a larger scale. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, if this guy is thinking this kind of stuff on his level of, like, he's got 1 million followers, he drops videos twice a week, and he's hitting the, like, 100,000 to 1 million range. And I'm here dropping a video once a fortnight that gets 40 video plays, and I'm here stressing out over it. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta like change my way of thinking, kind of thing, because that's really inspiring to see. Like, it's feasible how what I wanted to discuss. All right, as opposed to how
about we give them some context first. So like a little bit of context from what Nat's talking about. The video that I posted that I shared with them was Andrew Huang's taking a break from doing YouTube videos. So he's doing, like Nats was saying, he does 2 videos a week, and all of his videos have so much content. It's like he creates a new song every video
out of scratch.
Yeah,
and it's quality, quality picture, quality sound.
Yep.
It's just very well polished. How he delivers his content is so good.
Yep.
I can't fathom how good it is, and it's a double-edged sword watching these videos, because it makes me think, I just want to give up now. Like, nothing I've made is close to being this good, but it also drives me like, people are making something out of this. Yeah. And what does it cost you to do this stuff on YouTube? It's a free platform, you know? You put it out there, it's really what you make of it, kind of thing. And it was just inspiring to see, seeing that guy do it. What I wanted to get at was the whole quality over quantity thing. Like, me and Raf, we're dropping this once a week, yeah?
Yep.
Do you think it makes a big difference the more you drop? Like, for example, long story short, I don't even know how I'm going to portray this. If I drop like a video every day, do you reckon I get more plays? Or get more subscribers?
Yeah, I reckon you would.
Every day?
Yeah, I reckon you would.
The thought of that's daunting.
I think you would, because you're playing like the numbers game, right? Like
numbers game.
You're the more videos you have out there, the more content you have out there, the more exposure that you have. So there's more content for people to see of you, and there's more chance for people to subscribe to you. So, the more you have out there, the more you'll be seen.
I think it comes down to a point is like, what level of artist are you? If you're trying to look for exposure, I think saturating would be because this is what it is. Oversaturating would be kind of the deal to do it, because like you're trying to branch out into different audiences, and then all your videos are gonna be different. They probably resonate to a different audience. Like Monday video would be like vlog, Tuesday video would be music, Wednesday video would be informative, and then that's different audiences like in each day. So like the saturating thing is depending if you are trying to gain different audiences, and to do that you have to pretty much do everything to get the right audience and
exactly
draw them into your channel and subscribe. So it comes down to because I think if you're more of a star or more popular, you have like people like who have 1 million subscribers probably drop a video once a month and they still get the same like views and stuff, because they have that core fan base already built. So if you're building,
and I think
maybe you should saturate.
I think so too. Like the reason why I wanted to get at this though, because like we sort of act like this is fine for the Cheatcoders is fine, because there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of parties involved. But if you're solo starting out, especially if you're starting out, like I got to treat we all got to treat our solo ventures as starting fresh, because we don't really have the following to just drop something and expect everyone to see.
Yeah.
But it seems like a trend that a lot of these YouTube guys, like for example, your mate, or not your mate, the dude that you linked us,
Right.
Casey Neistat, sees just the bloggers that were really big. All of them have the same sort of, I wouldn't say a formula, but they say the turning point was when they just started dropping in a consistent basis, like a solid 1 year grind. Once they get that following, like their following is like either double or triple, they dial it down later on. They're like, same thing, like they'll drop a video like, oh, I need to take a break, I'm burning out. And then from there, it's sort of, I wouldn't say it's smooth sailing, but now they have that luxury that they can just drop something once a week or once a fortnight.
Yeah.
And still sort of, you know,
I think that's because
get
they already
exposure.
have this like catalog of content that they can
That they
show
can
people.
choose from, yeah.
Like
Exactly.
a year's worth of content. If you're
that's a lot of content.
if you're uploading every week, then that's like 52 videos. You know,
That's it,
and it's like, oh, I dropped a new video, but check out the rest of the 50 videos that I have.
And that's why I think, like, look, like, not to say because it's the easy option, but when it comes back to Cheatcoders, it's not like me and Raf are going to do a podcast every day, but because it's a collaborative effort of so many, if we get a lot of people, it will get to that point. Like maybe this time slot, like Mondays is me and Raf's thing. Then we got Elo on Tuesday. We got, I'm not going to mention the other names just in case. Keep it a surprise.
Yeah, keep it a surprise. Secret.
Keep on guessing.
But you know what I'm getting at, right? It'll be
yeah.
a consistent thing. But yeah, it's just something that's been weighing on my mind. Like I've got so much content, raw content, and you can relate to me, Don. Like you were telling me, I got hard drives of all this shit, and I haven't had the time to just put it together. You know what I mean? It's a real grind, man. It's a real hustle. It's so overwhelming.
I had to transfer files off of one hard drive and then reformat it because I couldn't transfer it from my MacBook. So there's different file formats, and I don't want to get technical, but I needed to format one of my hard drives just to be able to move stuff around. And I've got all this video that I need to get edited. The video that I did I did a podcast style thing with a mate of yours, Lukman.
Yeah. We're waiting
We're waiting for that. We're waiting for that.
We're waiting.
You got like 3 people waiting.
We're waiting, bro.
so that's waiting to be rendered. I tried rendering it, but I need like 20 gigs free on my hard drive to do it, and I don't have that space. So
wait, how big is the video file with that How long did you guys talk for?
About half
3
an
hours or
hour.
something?
But see, like it's
okay.
Yeah, for one part
It's
of it.
technical.
That's only one part. Like, and then the second part will probably be another half hour.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because it was video and audio that I got.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe you should join the Cheatcoders. You wouldn't have that problem.
Raph, this guy's always hustling, eh? Always hustling, even on air.
But it will come. It will get there. I know that I'm lagging a bit, but I will get there. But see, the thing that you were talking about with the community, and I think a lot of I've read this in a lot of books, and I've heard this about business people who are entrepreneurial and wanting to build a business sort of thing, is that you don't think about what you can gain from
I
it.
agree, 100%. Yep.
About business or about being entrepreneurial is about what you can how you can serve
Give.
other people.
Yes.
It's more about what you
Yes.
can give. And
Exactly.
that idea of making up a community or a channel, building a platform for artists, for creatives, the Cheatcoders Global Network is exactly that thing. It's exactly what being entrepreneurial is. And that's why I really enjoy that. That's why when when you guys were talking about it, I was like, yes, I want to be on the show. Please let me be on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
man.
awesome, man. So,
Yeah.
like,
exactly.
I made it, Mom. I made
on
it.
your side. Is there anything on your side that you're doing that you know, you're creative, but you do, because you're a musician. I know you're a musician. Is there anything, because I've seen that you're doing the vlogs. So what's going on in the life of Don right now? The life of Don sounds like a
day in
great
the life.
name for something.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about sometimes I like making music, and
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I follow Andrew Huang is because he's able to make music and build build videos about making music, and it's about learning and teaching and doing all these things.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try to think of ways to make my music more than just, oh, here's a new song that I made, or here's this. And so I'm starting to do videos where I will make a beat or something random, because I do this anyway, right? I will try to jam something on my computer, and then it becomes a beat, and then I release it. But the idea, like I don't know what it is, but people love seeing people do other things. Like, you've ever watched someone make your coffee at Starbucks? Like, you watch them like mixing up their coffee, and you're like, oh wow, that's really cool. Or watching a DJ, do his thing at a concert or at a club. That stuff is interesting. Watching him like, beat match, and watching him like do crossfade and all of that stuff is interesting. It's not just the music, it's not just the product of it. It's the creation of it is what is also interesting. So when you guys started the Cheatcoders podcast, you were building that, and you were learning how to speak, how you were gonna structure your thing within your podcast, and that's what made it doubly interesting. Like, you were talking about, I do this thing when I talk, and I do this when I talk, and I was listening to it and going, that stuff is really,
what makes it. Yeah,
it's really cool, because you get an insight to
I know
what it is.
I know you follow Gary V as well, Don. You read his books and stuff, and I think like, we don't have to specify to a particular book that he's read. I think he sort of repeats this message ongoingly in terms of when he drops content. And part of the process of getting good content is the journey getting there. So even like flaws and all, you see people that, once again, if you look at a year's scale, for example, if we're already on the road to that, but a year's worth of the Cheatcoders, just using us network as an example, it'll be amazing to see where we'll be sitting by the end of this year, and compare the first podcast me and Raf did, when we were in a freaking car park using lapel mics and talking the maddest shit. Like, we didn't even know what we were saying. We're just like, so we're doing a podcast now.
Yeah.
It was just so whack. Yeah. But it's so, people love that, and people tend to go back. It's like, you know what I mean? Nothing ever starts bang. It's like golden and like amazing from the get-go. Unless you have like a network behind you, and that's different. That's like, that takes filters of, I don't know, industry and corporation type things.
It takes teams. It takes teams.
But then this platform's amazing in a sense of, you can go and join that story from literally the beginning, when we were talking about it in Raf's car in a car park in Sydney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I love it. I love that shit, man. I love little thing I've been doing now is, when I find a blogger that I really like, I literally go back to their history and look for their oldest content just to see, because it gives me that sense of, we all start like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sort of makes me not feel bad when I drop something and it doesn't get the exposure I want.
Yep.
For that, it's literally just a lesson. It's like, all right, well, that didn't work, or maybe I just didn't drop at the right time. Keep dropping. And that's why I've sort of kept some of the things I've done that are pretty whack. I've made them public again. Like, I made everything private at one stage, but now it's like, nah, you know what? Just own it. Be proud of it. Like, that was something for that time. Leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's why my music videos are back. That's why New Girl's back on YouTube, Link below, check that shit out. We're all involved in that. Rafa's behind the camera.
That's it. Like, you got to own your craft, whether it be back then and now, because like, that's audience love that progression. Like, Nats is saying that he's always looking at the old stuff of vloggers and stuff, and then people actually do that. They actually look for the oldest. For the first video, like, you find yourself looking for that first video. Even with superstars, like, you'll be looking at,
it's so interesting.
Eminem's old shit, because like, and then his new shit now, or like, a different like artist. It's just, people like to, I think they like to humanize things that they think that are big.
They do,
and make it relatable to them, and then being,
and the earliest stuff's the most candid. The earliest stuff is usually the most... that's when you really see the person, because then it's before everything. Like, if they become bigger than what they are, it's like, that's who they actually are. You know what I mean?
And it's about like, the progression is what you see. You see, and that's really what life is about. Like, you start off as a child that you don't know how to walk, and then you eventually learn how to. there's something like, how excited do parents get when a child learns how to walk? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah. Seeing their first step.
yeah.
Their first word.
So like, oh, seeing the first Cheatcoders episode is like, oh shit, they're doing really well. Yeah. They got 40 now. Oh, 41. Ooh.
Yeah, no, he's like, oh, what episode are you on? You're on 28? Ooh, you're going on for a pretty long time.
But see, 28 episodes, man, that is heaps. That is a lot of time. That's a lot of effort.
When you think about it, it is yeah.
And
perception-wise, when you're planning it, you're like, yeah, we'll get there. But it's been a bit of a long road when you think about it, Raf? 28 episodes, mate. Look at us now. Video, Skype. Damn, son.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. I forgot which one, but they mentioned that Apple Podcasts has, I think, about like probably 5 to 10 million different podcast shows. And then I think the stat is, 70 to 75% only go up to episode 6 and then they give up. Oh. And then that's the end of the podcast. And then that other 25% is the ones that actually go for the long run and have like 100 and 200 episodes. So I think we're doing pretty well,
stats, I like these stats, mate. I like these stats. We're already ahead of the curve.
25%, So I was like, listening to it, I was like, hey, we're doing all right.
But yeah, guys, cool. Congratulations. 28, 29 episodes. I don't know how many
either. I just wait for Raf to upload and I listen.
It's a lot, and that's amazing.
Thanks, man.
That's true.
And the fact that you guys want to take it to, even bigger than that is inspiring.
Yeah, man, we just like to be able to show. I don't know. I just enjoyed that we inspired our little group of friends to spark
that's enough for me right now.
To do their music again. It's like,
I love it.
It's really nice to see. And then, like, imagine that on a global scale. Like, everyone has this has that feeling that they want to do good, and they get a good feeling out of it. So, like, it's great that we actually have a platform and a medium to actually have this feeling just constantly every time we drop an episode. And then when every time someone's quote us, whoever quote us, I'm like inside I'm like, oh, that's freaking sick, and the outside I'm like, cool, thanks, man. But inside I'm just all like full fanboying out. I was like, he listens to my shit, or she listens to my shit. It's good.
It's funny you mentioned that, Raf. You were telling me the other day, it's like, you know what, people know the show, because whenever someone talks to me, that's like that's a conversation starter for you. Like, hey, the podcast, it's like, Raf's the podcast guy now. So if you're like at a dinner party and they've just seen a video or something, like, hey, podcast. Like, cool, thanks, man, cool. Deep down, you're like
I was at LOC's gig yesterday with Dream City, and then you see a lot of people that you haven't seen in a long time, and they full mention, they're like, oh, I heard that you're doing podcasts, and I saw a couple of episodes. You're doing enough. All right. And like, that's enough for me to keep going.
Even like some friends, like, they feel bad. They're like, oh, I haven't had a chance to listen to your podcast. But for me, it's already like, I make a podcast. So it's like, it's already cool. It's already like there, you don't expect everyone to listen to like an hour, but it's like, I keep telling them, it's there forever. Like, you can check it whenever you want. But thanks for even acknowledging it, kind of thing. That's great. You know what I mean? And when you think about it, 40 plays, right? Think about 40 plays, like in any video or podcast we do, 40 times 40 minutes. These are long episodes. The fact that the idea in my mind that even maybe 20 people listen to this episode from start to finish, that's a big thing. That's a lot of time invested. It's not like a song where we just drop it and it's easy. You can just play it. And you can repeat songs as well, right? You're going to keep playing a song again and again. I'm not going to listen to someone's podcast again and again unless I'm like a crazy psychopath stalking you. You know what I mean?
Or a dedicated fan. That's not
dedicated fan for sure.
You give it one listen, you let it go, you take it for what it is, and you drop Nats and Raf a comment. Hey, cool podcast. That was it. That's a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it in scales like that. It's amazing. 40 plays isn't so bad when you think about it that way.
I was really inspired when you guys started the podcast. I'm like, I want to do a podcast. That's why I did the thing with Lookman. I wanted to do something that I could, you could make content quickly and easily with, low production cost and all of that stuff. So I think that's what I'm basing my content on. Aside from the vlogs, which take quite a long time to edit.
They do, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to build content that was like not how to make a song, but the process of me making a song, or the process of a song being born, the process of a song being written. And I think that stuff is, because I find that really interesting when an artist talks about, you know, I was dating this girl and then we broke up because of these reasons, and that's why I wrote this and this song. That is so much more interesting than the song itself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because the song,
That is cool.
like a really good song is one that captures your emotion and you can relate to it. But if you understand the story behind it,
Break it down more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Nats's new stuff, like some of your mixtape, you rap and you were saying to me that you were worried that
Talking.
you were worried that there wasn't any choruses in it. Like, bro,
there's none.
Yeah, exactly,
dude.
right?
I'm almost finished. There's no choruses. I was like,
But-
these aren't even songs anymore.
Yeah, but these songs, but see, that's storytelling and that's real, and because there is something behind that gives that more. There's more meat to the there's more authenticity
and
honesty in the song.
True. We'll see how it goes, eh?
yeah,
Black
like
Heart coming out soon. Plug that shit. Plug that shit.
the perfect example is that I've been inspired by what Will Smith is doing right now. His social
Instagram?
push.
Yeah,
Yeah, his
he's good, bro.
Instagram, his YouTube, he's just showing everything that's going on in his life right now. It's like he even said in one of his videos, gone are the days where stars have that mystique. They have to, like, where they could just, for example, as a musician, you drop an album and then you're gone for like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And you can do your own thing. Gone are the days for like where you could just become mysterious and just or drop something. Now we're in the stage in the age where we have to constantly just be in everyone's faces, kind of like show every aspect of your life rather than just what you do. You have to show like the behind the scenes, the vlogs, the you know, everything that inspires. I don't know, it's just the whole humanizing the star, humanizing the person. Yeah.
And see, that's it.
You know, I like
the behind the scenes part of it. Like, a lot of people hear the music, or a lot of people will see the finished product, but they don't see the hard work that goes behind it. Why not showcase the hard work? Why not showcase you playing, well, like me, changing, EQing things and mixing things on my computer, and then
Absolutely.
or why not show the progression of how this song or how this kick drum changed to this kick drum, or this, all that stuff. I think that stuff is really interesting. And
usually, like back in the day, to even get any sort of idea of an artist behind the music, because before, like I said, there's so many filters to get through to finally get a final product, like record labels or television networks, all that shit before here's the product. The only way to really get an artist, if you're a real fan, is obviously you buy books of them, like the autobiography. Like, they'll make a book with an interview with someone, and that'll be the only way. Like, especially pre-YouTube days, where you didn't have 100 interviews that could easily get uploaded. You might have to wait for like a TV special at this particular time slot, and then once it's there, it's gone forever. In this day and age, you can share things almost immediately. Like right now, we're doing a podcast that could be live right now or whatnot, and just me walking down the street type thing. And I think it's great that you bring up Will Smith again, because I'm going to refer back to Gary Vee, because I actually watched another vlog by him, and he's talking about, the interviewer asked, like, what does he think about Will Smith, how he drops social media. Like, Will Smith, obviously he's on a different level. He's on a different caliber of fame, right? He's on the elites of stardom. Difference that puts Will Smith apart, Will Smith's actually very talented, and he knows how to use the platforms. It could have went both ways, right? In a sense, Will Smith is just like everyone else, but on a larger scale. The thing is, he's smart. People on the same category as Will Smith doesn't use social media like Will Smith does it. He's actually very smart how he does it. You know what I mean? Like the way he edits his vlogs, what he's actually talking about in social media. Certain people kill it on certain platforms. Like, they have their time. You have Khaled, when he killed it on Snapchat, he won Snapchat. Instagram, apparently it was Ashton Kutcher at the time. He was the first to, like, he challenged CNN to who would get more followers in the end, and he got it. So he owned that platform. And right now, like you brought up, I think Will Smith's the one that's really winning the Instagram race on that scale of his caliber of talent, because there's not many other people that are that famous that use it like he does. You know what I mean? It's actually really good stuff. It's not just a muck around.
Yeah.
You know,
one
you're
of the
peering into his life, but it's genuine.
Yeah.
And it's polished well. You know.
One of the things that I really like about the stuff that Will Smith is putting out is, he puts out positive vibes. Like he just puts out positive things.
Like dude.
Like he'll. What was one of the things that he said? Discipline is good. It means that you have full control or you have full responsibility. It's not a bad thing. Like he's trying to educate people. He's trying to, or he'll just be funny. There was a video of him doing a St. Patrick's Day thing. He was in a skirt. He was in a kilt. And he was dancing about. And that was entertaining. Like it's just positive content, and it's just amazing putting that
does
stuff
it
out
well,
there.
right? He kills it.
It goes back to when you're saying that people strive to make other people feel good or happy, whether it be being funny and making people laugh, or whether it be being talking about motivation and trying to motivate people. It's like trying to get an emotional reaction from another person, whether it be your audience or just a person you're talking to. It's rewarding when you can get that emotional reaction, if it's positive, because it can go negative and that's bad. But when it's positive and uplifting, that's when you can get rewarded. It's like instant karma, like good karma. Like you just do something good, say something good, or like become motivated, and then someone else becomes motivated. You instantly get that feeling, knowing that you did something good, and you get that. Sorry, the fly's just annoying me. And you instantly get that feeling that, I did something good today. I should reward myself and everything. So I think it's awesome. Yeah,
man.
Hey, you know who else is killing it? I just had to bring this up. Cardi B. I love her, man. She's awesome. She's so good. And you know what? This relates. This relates so. She has kept it so real from the get-go. So many people dislike her, right? Because look, first time I saw her, I'm not gonna joke, I was like, who the hell is this ratchet chick? She's so whack.
Right.
Like, especially the first time I heard her was, I think it was that song with G-Eazy, right? And she dropped her verse, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, is this legit? This is so crap. Anyway, it kept digging into her past, and then like even like some of her videos, I used to think she was so annoying. I'm like, who the hell is this? But you keep digging, and I keep digging back further, like to her roots and stuff. She is so unapologetically funny. It's hilarious. Like she's so ghetto.
The thing is, she's unapologetically her. Like whatever she puts out, it's honest. Like she's not gonna.
It is.
There's no holds barred. And
I used to think she was so fake. Like she's just putting this on, and then you literally go to her early days when she was just on some dating show or something.
Right.
She
Love
wasn't
and Hip
even a
Hop or
rapper
something
yet.
like that.
Something like that,
Yeah.
and then like she was a stripper at first, and she's even unapologetic about that. And then the comments she makes almost sound degrading to herself, but she owns it and flips it in a way that it's like, well, suckers, I make money kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I know it's superficial shit, but like, she's being genuine. That's her.
She's not honest and genuine.
She's not gonna care
yeah.
about it. She's like, yeah, I'm about the money, F y'all kind of thing. And she pulls it off in a really funny way. And I become a fan. I'm not like, oh man, I love her music, but because I like her personality, I'll bump her songs just for kicks and just be like, got it with a bit of Rari, got it with a bit of Rari.
Like with Cardi B, because she's the type of person you see, and then you can have a lot of stigma to it, but she's completely owning it to a point that she's like, because people like seeing other people being themselves. And then when they see someone who's completely themselves, they get inspired by that. Cardi B is the total extreme of being herself, in the point that even though she has all this stigma stuff, like this whole stripper thing, and the whole like being ratchet and everything, all these things that she's saying, doing, is all, it comes down to a stigma that everyone's like, oh, that's bad, this is terrible, but she's owning it to a point that she's becoming likable.
But in
like,
the opposite,
likable.
that means you have people that really genuinely like elite loyally follow her. You know someone's making waves when you go to a comment section on a YouTube video or a post that she puts, and you have the most polarized type of feedback. It's one or the other. There's no in between. Either people love her, like idolize her, or they really just hate her. You gotta like dropping the most hate possible.
Or you'd have people that don't in between, and they don't care to comment. They're just like, oh yeah,
they don't comment. Yeah, they're just like whatever, let it pass, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, either way, like if a star's being themselves or not being themselves, they're gonna get the same amount of hate and the same amount of like. You know, everyone's just gonna be the same. Might as well be yourself. Yeah. But then you just be happy with that, you know.
But I think what makes good content and what makes good entertainment or anything that's out there is if it's genuine, and you can see now if something is more genuine and more honest.
That's true.
And I like that in rap, and I think some people were commenting about how, you know, Drake's music feels like when he talks about stuff, he's very honest in his rap and stuff like that. I like some of Elo's stuff because I kind of know the backstory for some of his songs.
Of course, because we all know him. Yeah. As a mate. Yeah.
But when he's rapping it's just honest and it's just truthful. It just feels real, and that's what makes good. That's why I feel like his music is really good, because it's real.
That's true. That's spot on, mate.
But yeah,
I think the authentic, like being authentic, is just it's started from day one in this world. Like as in like even back then when before the internet, everything, like everyone strived and they were resonated to authentic things, and then now it's just become the internet. Like everyone has access to everything.
There's so much more exposure. Like you could get exposed so much more easier if you're fake, kind of thing. Like it doesn't take long to really expose someone, and then bang, you're famous for the wrong reasons, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, so just being yourself completely is like probably just the moral of the story. Like now, it's just hard to be fake now. Like even if you start off fake, you could probably last a couple of years, but then you won't have that longevity as these artists that we're talking about now may have or do have. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to recover once you've like, you know,
it's like if you start off with a lie, it's like, and then you just build on it. It's like, oh, I have to act like this gangster thing, and it's like, okay, now I have to just add this to my story. A couple of months later, I have to add this because like, or else they're gonna think I'm fake, and you just keep building on a lie. It just becomes a snowball of like fakeness, you know.
That was something that I was talking about to Nats when we were having a quick conversation. Like years ago, I dropped a video. I made a song. It was a parody of like a Katy Perry song, right? And it went viral.
Filipino foods. Is that still on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Plug that shit. Plug that.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually put a snippet in this list spot right now.
Snippets, please.
Right. Like that. I made that just for shits and giggles, right? My mate Gussie and I were sitting at my place playing PlayStation, and I went, you know what? I'm gonna do a parody of this song and call it Filipino Girls. And it was hard to write because everything that I wrote about Filipino girls was the same about every girl. Like it was it was everything. And he's like, you know what? Why don't we write about food, because that's more interesting, and we love Filipino food. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Put it on Tumblr. It went viral, and everyone was like, oh, you know, you should make a video. And then the next month I traveled to Philippines, made a video.
About?
Yeah.
This is amazing. See, I didn't even know that story, Don, and you telling me now live. That's so interesting. And now it's on the podcast.
And like, okay, so and it blew up. I had marketing managers from the Philippines contacting me, wanting to like get, you know, and people are like, oh, you should make video. You should make this video. You should do this. You should make T-shirts. Amazing. You should try to do all of these things. And I was overwhelmed because I didn't want to be the guy that made like stupid like parody videos of songs. I kind of wanted to make music that was real.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought about it. It had its time. It had its moment where it went viral and it was really popular and all of these things. But then afterwards, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to purport that lie that I'm always funny. You know what I mean? I wanted to put out like serious music and produce other things, and not just be the guy that makes parodies of songs about food. And
yeah,
I-
it's funny how that works, eh? Like how like you show an aspect. It happens not only in like music but in everyday life. You show an aspect of yourself, and then people gravitate to it, and now they expect it all the time from you. Like say if you go to a gathering and you become you just in the zone being funny throughout the whole night, and then the next day or the next outing now they expect you to be that funny guy. But really, it's like, come on, man, I got more depth. You know?
Exactly.
Like, I can't always be funny, you know what I mean?
It's like, oh, you should do another video about this type of food. Oh, you didn't talk about balot. Why didn't you do this? And like, relax. This was just a joke. All of this was a joke. Oh man, but
You can't win.
but yeah, and so if I had continued to make those types of songs, I would have been miserable because I wasn't enjoying it. Like I really didn't enjoy trying to make that. You know,
Be more like a parody singer, eh?
Yeah.
It's not what you were going.
you
The
think-
direction you were going for.
Do you think comedians are really depressed because of that? They just they did this one funny thing, and then they just kept going with it. Like now they expected to be the funny guy,
No.
and then now what you're talking about is like, oh, I want to show more depth. That's why you see a lot of comedians trying to do serious roles, because they want to show more depth. They don't want to be that funny guy all the time. That's why they get depressed and like the sad clown type of thing.
right? And I think from interviews that I've seen, or interviews that I've heard from comedians, they are funny because it's kind of like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
To
I was
something.
about to say that. Yeah, to some degree. Yeah.
Yeah, to something in their lives. So they'll be funny just to not hide the pain, but more so to bring light to the pain, and so people can consume it in a way that is easier for them. So
and most of the time, comedians' subject topics, it's almost always self-degrading.
Deprecating, yeah.
Like a lot of their jokes is on themselves and trying to bring light to like, especially like Kevin Hart makes fun of how short he is, and
Yeah.
a lot of comedians talk about their like failed dating experiences. It's almost like just paying themselves out in a sense.
yeah,
When there is, like you said, there's probably a bit more to it behind that. They're probably a bit more. There's something that really affected them at one stage, but they're trying to make a negative into a positive in that sense as well. You know what I mean? Sorry to cut you off there. I just wanted to say.
all good. So like the comedians nowadays, like John Oliver, Trevor Noah, Samantha Bee, Stephen Colbert, they all talk about the news in a way. It's all comedy. Like they make fun of the news. They make fun of Donald Trump. They make fun of the politics. But I feel like that is the way that we can consume bad news, or that's the way that we can consume the news now, because it's always been, you know, a bombing has happened here, and it's all serious, and every time you watch the news, it's all just bad stuff. But if you watch it in a way where it's like, oh, this happened, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and you can kind of step back and go, I can understand that is ridiculous, but I can also understand that it's serious. Like it's a consumable form of receiving the news,
delivering news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I need to watch this. Yeah. Okay.
It's like a thin line like that you're crossing, because it's like sugarcoating the truth to make them easy to get digested. Sometimes,
exactly.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you need the hard truth to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes you do need a sugarcoated just to get by and stuff, because like, no, people's sensitivities and how they consume things, whether it be negative things, it's really hard. It differs from person to person, because like maybe one thing you say to this person will become suicidal to an extreme, or it'll just come to a point where you get another person be like, you know, who can take it. It's just that sensitivities within the global population,
Levels,
which
yeah.
is like billions of people.
Yeah.
It's hard to maintain like who will be offended or who will not be offended, or who will take the truth like easier than others. It's a hard topic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I think, yeah, man, I think trying to be, I feel like it would be difficult to be a comedian. And like going back to what you were saying, as soon as one person sees one, you know, if people see a particular aspect of you, they kind of expect it of you all of the time. And not just not just that parody video, but when people find out that I can sing, or when do a particular thing, they're like, oh, can you sing? Like, sing for me.
Yeah.
They want to.
That's exactly
especially fellow titos and titas. They thrive on that shit. Oi, rap, come here and show your tito how to rap. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, come on, man.
I get that a lot.
Like,
I can't do it as well.
You rap. You show your tito. Oh yeah. Show them.
Yeah, Tito Bong and your Tita Baby.
Tita Baby and Tito Blue Boy. All of those.
That's so true.
But yeah, and do you get that in terms of like videography, Raf?
Film a video?
Yeah.
Hey, Raf, film a video.
Yeah.
Do people
I'm always the guy who takes the pictures, because like, angles. Then I'm like, group family pictures, and they take a picture. Yeah, and like they always expect me, and then they expect me to have good pictures because I'm a videographer. But, they're two different things. So if they see a blown up picture on an iPhone, there's like, or an unfocused picture on an iPhone, they'll be like, you're supposed to be a video guy. I'm like, come on, man.
I thought you were a videographer
for my profession.
Why is this not good?
Yeah.
Why is that not good? Oh my god.
And now I'm doing this podcast thing. They're gonna expect me to talk for an hour. I'm like, no. Thanks.
Hey, show your tito the podcast.
Talking. Let Raf talk to them. He's good at talking. It's like, no. No.
The whole point of the podcast is to make me communicate better, not to become the guy who talks all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
I've wanted to do a podcast for such a long time. And it's like my mate Garcia, you know Garcia, right?
Yeah. Shout outs to Garcia, Christian Garcia. I don't know if he watches the podcast. He will now
because he's got an air horn
on the show. So
this is what Lukman and I were doing. We're just shouting out people.
All right, we might as well shout out Lukman.
That's what happens when you start off. You don't have to say.
Shout out to Lukman. Like we would have conversations in the car when we were driving, or we would have conversations when we were hanging out, and we'd sit there and go, dude, this should be a podcast. We should talk about
this. Is that how it started?
Yeah. But this was years ago, man. It was just like, we should record this, and I wonder if people will enjoy listening to this stuff.
Mate, you could have had a head start. You could have been like 50 episodes in by now.
But not, you're just on half an episode because you haven't finished.
We got 30, bro. We ahead, yo.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna have to do it 3 times a week now to catch up.
I gotta catch up hard, bro. Hard.
Yeah, man. I hope you do a podcast. I'm always trying to get people to do podcasts because like I like listening to podcasts, and I always listen to the podcasts I listen to are American. It'd be great to see people like in Sydney or like Australians doing the podcast thing. Like I know there's some out there, but I want some that I could relate to. So it'd be great to like, especially with friends. Like it'd be great. It'd be like, yeah, now I listen to your podcast, so I don't have to hang out with you. But like,
I've said all that I need to say on my podcast.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
I know because every podcast starts off with how's your weekend? It's like yeah. That's usually like the first thing you say to a person when you haven't seen them for a long time. It's like, how you been, man? And then that's pretty much it.
I like. Well, go back.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, it got to a point like, Raf, when we were doing the early podcasts, we look like we talk heaps because like they're obviously 40, 50-minute episodes. Once the pause button hits, it's just like this. I'm just like, I'm done. I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. And then we press play again, and then we start talking, going in. Pause.
No.
Like
that's called saving it for the podcast.
Yeah,
that's what saving it for the podcast.
That's pretty much it. That's what it was, dude. We were
like,
saving it for the
Don't
podcast.
talk to me. I got
no, because then we'd start talking a bit, and then we're like, oh, that's good content though.
Save it. Yeah, save it for the podcast.
Now we don't hang out. It's gone to a point that Nat had to move to London so we could, save the podcast. Save as much content as the podcast.
Oh man.
That's hilarious. I think we didn't talk for like 2 weeks. I think that was on purpose. Because I remember when I moved here, I was still talking to people. I'm like, wonder how Raf's doing. Guess I'll find out next podcast.
That's it. We didn't we had a month break without podcast. So, and legit, I'm like, I wanted you to feel like you're in London, so I didn't want to talk to you at all.
Yeah.
It's like I'll give you a message here and there, but I didn't want to be like
here and there.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
How's
every
this?
single
How's
day.
that?
And how's
I didn't
that?
update you with anything. Like you didn't know what the hell was going on. That was good.
Yeah, man. You could have just had a kid right now or something.
Oh yeah, started a family, bought a house.
when Raph and I got on the call, I immediately launched into, so how do you guys do this podcast, do all this stuff? And then I stopped and went, actually, bro, how are you? Like, how have you been? Because I haven't spoken to you in ages. This is the first time I'm speaking to you in ages.
Dude, I can't remember the last time we've seen each other.
2 years or something. Yeah, I think like 2 years ago, I reckon.
It's been ages.
Hey, Don, legit. Last time I saw you was literally that year, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Was it a year ago when you were telling me you got to go to London? And I'm like, should I? And you're like, yes, record it and I'll send it to you later. You're going to go. And I'm like, oh, okay. 1 year later, look where I'm at.
For context, Nats and I caught up. We went to a bar and he was talking. We were just talking about... going to different places. I was telling him how I was going to be
because you're going to Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to be moving to Singapore, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do, this and that." And I'm like, "Go to London, do it."
It wasn't even an explanation. Like you didn't even try to convince me why, like tangible examples. You're just like, just do it, just do it. Every time I say something, do it. Do it.
I've got a recording of Nats doing I made him say it. I go, "What are you going to do?" He's like, "I'm going to apply for the visa." Can I swear on this? Can I swear on this network?
No, yeah. Swear. Fuck shit, bitch. Yeah, it's all good.
I go, "What are you going to do, Nats?" He's like, "I'm going to apply for the fucking visa. Apply for the motherfucking visa. Apply." I made him say it over and over and over again.
Made a whole song. And that was at a club, so we just like to the music.
Yeah,
as well.
vibing to the music with it.
I might put that in a mix.
That sounds like a great song, man.
I'm apply for the fucking visa. I'm apply for the fucking visa.
Apply for the motherfucking. Yeah, that's it. It worked. I'm so glad that you did it, bro. I'm so glad that you did.
Cheers, man. Just following your lead, bro. Because then Don left. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do it too.
Next minute, Don moves back to Australia. I was like, oh man, I gotta go. I gotta go back to Australia then.
Gotta go.
Ooh, I guess I gotta go back. My visa's up.
But see, like I think I wouldn't have been able to experience the things that I've experienced if I didn't move to Singapore, and I don't think that you would have.
Absolutely.
It's not. There's nothing wrong with staying in Sydney and all of this stuff. It's more that this is what I needed to do in my life.
Yeah,
and
like if things come around, it's like depend on whatever scale. Like choices are always gonna come, and if something presents a possibility of opportunity for you,
yeah,
it's really either yes or no. You like take it or don't take it, kind of thing, and what you make of it, kind of thing. And it's one of those things that came across. I'm like, fuck, I can't imagine if I didn't. Like, what the hell would I be doing? Probably the same shit.
And I think one of the things. One of the things that I was saying to you at the time was that I had an opportunity to go to London, and I wanted to move to London because my youngest brother lives there.
Yes.
And I had the opportunity to, but I waited too long because I was waiting for somebody. And it was and because I missed out, I was like, don't miss out, just do it, just do it. And the worst thing is if it goes wrong, you can come back to Sydney. There's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing you're gonna lose, really.
So see you guys in a couple months.
So it's good to have you guys here. It's good to have you guys here together because like you both kind of had that wanting for a sea change type of thing. Yeah. I just want to dwell into it because I'm stuck in where I've lived like for 29 years.
I feel that because I'm the same. I was the same.
And it's like I just want to get to your minds. Like, how did you make that step? It's like, what made you want to have a change? It's like, were you like, oh, I should move interstate? Oh, actually, I should move overseas. That'll be even better. Like, how did this sea change, craving for a sea change, come about?
For me, it was very much the need to grow. Like one of the spiritual needs that everyone has, and I don't want to get into the technicalities of that stuff. There are two spiritual needs or two needs that people have, and one is the need to grow, and the other is the need to give or celebrate, or gratitude rather is the word.
Yes.
Give and grow are the two things that people need to do. and I felt like I wasn't growing anymore where I was. And my girlfriend got a job in Singapore, and she asked me, she said, I would really love it if you came with me. And I thought about it, and I said, this is an opportunity for me to grow. I know that it's going to be like really hard because I've never lived overseas. So my girlfriend's lived overseas before, but I knew that it was an opportunity for me to grow regardless of how scary it was. And I promised myself a long time ago that I was going to do more things that scared me. I wanted to do things that freaked me out so that I could continue to grow. And even if it was the most impossible thing in the world, if I stepped out and took the opportunity, then that would mean that I would continue to grow.
Yeah, it's like learning from your mistakes, kind of like if you touch a stove that's like full hot, then you grow in the sense that I'm not going to touch it again.
Exactly.
Because I know how it feels. So like it's always growth. You need all that bad stuff to happen, and you'll just grow from it. So yeah, how about you, Nats? How did you come about to see change?
Very similar to Don, and it's great that you raise this point because it's sort of similar but not at the same time. But the main point I do want to raise, it always comes down to one is circumstance, and two, opportunity. Now, in terms of circumstance, like I want to raise the point that you brought up, Raf. Like I've been 30 years here and I've never had that mindset kind of thing. So I can sort of relate to you in that sense. A couple of years back, London was sort of just an idea. It was never something that was feasible or tangible. Like it was something I've sort of looked into, but if I was being real to myself, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to happen. Like I've got a job, I've got a lot of things going in Sydney. It doesn't look like it's something that's going to happen before. So I never had that need, you know? Like I don't want to be a preacher to everyone and be like, everyone has to do this in their life, because not everyone has to. Some people have got it going for themselves where they are now. It could come like something for them in terms of making the jump or taking the leap could come in a different form. It could be in a form of taking a certain job. Like in your case, I would say going into the whole videography type career was your jump, you know? And for me, once again, coming down to circumstance and opportunity, some things didn't work out for me late last year. And because of that, this became an opportunity, like a real change, something I could really do, like on the table, become something I could actually pursue. And in terms of like, back to Don's point again, in terms of wanting growth, people either choose growth for two reasons. Either that they grow enough that they realize they have to do it. In terms of Don's case, like you're just sitting there stagnant, like, yeah, I actually have to do something now. Or sometimes you get forced into that. For me, like I felt like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like some shit went down last year for me in terms of like relationship wise, all that shit. It was really like, I need to make a proper change, like growth. I need to see some growth in myself. And it kind of ballooned. When we talked, Don, in was it Shark Hotel, that bar or whatever it was?
One of the bars.
I was in that limbo stage. Like it sort of ballooned. It started off with, okay, maybe I need to change my job. Maybe I need to move out. Maybe moving out into my own space, still in Sydney, would be a right way to do it. Maybe I need to like move to another state. And eventually it got to a point, let's revisit this idea that I had about London again. Let's weigh it out on the table. And once again, with circumstance, the opportunity presented itself to me. I would have been stupid not to take the opportunity. Like literally, when I think about it now, I kind of just needed that push from friends like like Don here, like Raf. When I talked to you about it, it's like, I know you don't want to go, bro, but I don't want you to go, bro, but you gotta do you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is, man. It's literally just circumstance and opportunity. Like everyone will come across it one day, and it's a matter of like if you just do it or not. I'd probably be in the same boat as Don later on if I didn't do it. Like, fuck, I had that. It was all on the table. Like each box ticked for me to do this. Just do it. And worst case, I come back home. I could come home satisfied in that sense that at least I gave it a go. If it all goes down here.
And I think, like bringing it back, and I'm gonna bring it back full circle.
Bring it back, man. Round circle.
The thing that the fact that you guys are starting a podcast and are keeping it consistent and doing this thing is amazing, because like that is a big step in itself. You are dedicating time and effort into something that you're not sure if you're not sure if it's gonna, like, you know, be this amazing thing, or you're not sure if it's gonna be anything really. There's uncertainty there, but you're taking the step to allow yourself to grow, and giving yourself the opportunity to be better at speaking, to be better at creating content, to be better at, you know, sharing something and creating something for other people.
Yeah,
that's it.
And
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you guys talked about what you were experiencing about the sea change and why you did it, because a lot of people would see sea change, not a lot of people, but some people would see sea change as you running from something, running away from something. It's like, I needed to leave.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stigma about it. It's like, I need to leave this country somewhere else because I'm running away from something, rather than people should recognize that you are actually looking for something. Whether it be growth or whether it be inspiration. So you're not running from something, you're looking for something. So that's the whole sea change thing. So I'm glad you explained what you guys explained, because that's what the point I was trying to get at for like that sea change step.
Nice.
What a conclusion.
Nice.
I like that.
Well, you know, 28 episodes
like
in, man.
Same page.
You know,
This episode got real deep.
we gotta go deep, man.
Raph, man, you're you're like the master at wrapping everything up and summarizing all of the shit that we talk about.
Yeah, man, I'm just like a sponge. I just get all this information and just put it together and stuff. So I literally do that with work. I get videos and then put it together. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I guess we'll end it there. It seems like that's a good way to end it, eh?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, what else can we talk about?
Dude, it's actually an hour 10 episode, so it actually went pretty long. This flew by.
Are you gonna?
I could probably keep talking, but
Are you gonna
it's getting
do
pretty long.
like this as one episode? Or are you gonna like halve it?
Nah, we'll do it as one.
We drop it as a
good.
full,
Yeah.
but we drop little snippets of parts that are good. And
Yeah.
Raph does
Yeah.
all that. I don't do anything.
I already know what snippets I want to do, so it's all good. And so Don, I want to give you a round of applause.
Cheers, Bob. Cheers.
Thanks for having to have the time to join
Thanks, man.
our conversation in the
Last
Cheatcoders
minute
during this
combo.
episode.
Last minute
Very last
combo.
minute. And is there anything you want to plug?
I've got some stuff on Spotify. I made a vlog series when my friends visited here in Singapore. It's called the Gig Boys in Singapore series. That's on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. Just look out for my stuff.
So just
we'll
pretty
link
much
it anyway.
search Don Valix.
Search Don
in all
Valix,
the
you'll find
social
me.
media, yeah.
You'll find me.
All right, sweet.
Yeah,
So
man.
there you have it. Where can they find you, Nats?
Nats Blazin on everything.
Yep.
That's
But my name's Nathan
on
Blazin
everything.
now. Just my links are Nats Blazin, but my name's Nathan now.
And you can find the Cheatcoders at the Cheatcoders at Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Mixcloud. We're doing a lot of platforms here.
Nice.
I see the fly. I see
all
the fly. Hey, the fly kill it. Oh.
I think I got it. that was for the YouTube audience.
That's a really good conclusion as well to this. It's like the whole episode
That
is trying
fly
to
was
kill a
been
fly.
annoying me for the last hour.
Featuring
So
the
we'll end
fly.
it right there.
He was right
Okay.
there.
Thanks guys for listening.
Cheers,
and
boys.
enjoy.